I was in hockey when I was 16, and I walked out of school, unfortunately, in Galt, Ontario. And I think that was the first mistake by management when they asked if I had anybody in reference, and I gave him the number to the men that was running a junior hockey club, and he said if he wants to work, let him work. Had I had good guidance, the guy that had me by the cuff of the neck on the way to school, I was so lonely and backwards at the time that when I went to school, I had all the intention in the world, and when I got there, I could tell you exactly where the tree was that I leaned against, looked at all the kids shaking hands. There was a certain amount of camaraderie and friendship there, and I was alone. So I gave somebody a book, and I said, I won't need this, and I walked down the track and got to the Galt metal industry and took a job. And although I was happy I was getting money, and it did pay for a few things for mom and dad, but what it did, it deprived me of something that is definitely a necessity after you get out of the game of hockey, and that is something substantial as an education to get by on. So education as a hockey player, and last that many years ago, that is experiencing education. So I have no qualms about, other than the fact that I might have a little trouble spelling a few names.
You described your play as rough and crazy. Now I'm curious, what is the difference?
Well, it's roughness. You can bang people around. Even rough, you can be in conversation with somebody. For instance, some of the guys I respected and knew as boyhood idols, and especially in my early days, I'd yell, "Look out," and then I'd hit them. If I didn't like them, I'd yell out when I hit them. It was dirtiness is the little extra. You can hit somebody, and I was accused of elbowing. This is no excuse, it's all gone by. But I have very sloped shoulders, so in order to avoid hitting my head all the time, I'd put my arm up in this manner and take the blow with the elbow, but at my chest level. And then at impact, it would fly out. The elbowing was done with anybody back here who was holding my stick or had it around my, his stick around my belly. I'd just pull his stick forward and give him a little shot, so he'd release it, and that way, if they get enough hits in the head, they would not use that particular tactic on me. And I always felt my stick was my tools, and somebody else put their hands on it. I didn't like that, and so I reacted accordingly. The crazy part came in after I was through in the NHL, some of it during, but after, when I joined Marty and Mark, if anyone hit one of the kids, I went a little crazy, because I'd chase them all over the ice to let them know that nobody touched those boys. And I guess, in essence, I was taking a policeman's role where I didn't have to. Mark told me one night, Dad, he said, I've been trained to absorb a check up to about 240, but when you add your weight to it, he said, it kills me, so please get the guy after the fact.
Do you remember a particular series of events with one Eddie Coleman from the Rangers?
Oh, yeah. I warned Eddie one time. He used to, I'm pretty sure it's Coleman. I played 32 years with a lot of helmets. So.
That's right.
But I think Eddie used to spike me in the back of the leg when I was skating, and I'd come off, and there's no protection in the calf area, and I'd come off bleeding. And so I advised him that if he did it one more time, he would liable to eat a little lumber. And in doing so, Ted Lindsay and I broke away on a single defenseman. I threw the puck over to Ted. I'd felt this jab in the back of my leg twice. I just turned around and hit him right flush with the glove on and everything else. So it did the trick. It got rid of a dirty habit. So that's the crazy part. It's one of probably the most deliberate things I ever did in the game of hockey, but you can't say I didn't warn him. And that's, unfortunately, that's the way the game's being played. Any edge you can apply to your given tricks can result in a win, and I just took offense to it. But digging back there was, it could shorten a player's life, and I didn't like that. That's the only thing I knew.